talk to you about the Riese Müller Load. This is an excellent SUV-like e-bike for carrying kids, going shopping, or doing any of the things you might normally do with an SUV. The version I have has a CX version of the Bosch motor. It's full suspension. It has shocks and springs in the front and back of the bike. I've had this bike for a little over 3 years now, and I've put over 6,500 miles on it. It's very, very comfortable to ride in the city. I ride this bike all around town. You can ride it directly into parks. I really like the handling of this bike. It feels almost like you're riding a road bike in some ways. It's very maneuverable, and going around corners, honestly, it feels better than any other bike I've ever ridden. It feels better than my road bike. It feels better than my Beno Boosts. I love going around corners on this bike because it really digs in with the suspension and the springs, and it really carves well. I think it's a good idea to get the 20-mile-per-hour version for city riding. The 20-mile-per-hour version allows you to ride in the bike lane. It also allows you to go up on the sidewalk when there's no bike lane available or when it's too dangerous to ride on the street. Another great feature of the Load is the disc brakes. These disc brakes handle it really well, and I'm never worried about not being able to stop. So 20 miles per hour feels pretty comfortable in the city. In fact, in San Francisco, a lot of the city streets have a speed limit of around 20 to 25 miles per hour. In addition, the center of gravity is super low, so I never feel unstable when I'm going around a corner on this bike. In conclusion, this bike has been an amazing bike for me. I've put over 6,500 miles on this bike. Overall, I've actually saved money by buying this bike when I compare the cost that I would have paid for parking, gasoline, and insurance. I also did some comparisons of the cost of electricity, and I found that electricity is actually fairly cheap compared to gasoline, so that I'm burning much less electricity using this bike than I would be driving a car. It makes a lot of sense if you think about the fact that this bike weighs 85 pounds and a typical car weighs around 3,500 to 5,000 pounds. I've never even had anyone move or touch my bike as far as I can tell. It would be pretty difficult to carry away, so they would have to end up riding this bike. I think a lot of thieves would actually have a difficult time jumping on this bike and stealing it. Another great security feature of this bike is that I can remove the computer that sits on the front. And when I remove that computer, that takes away the functionality of the motor. One of the cool things I noticed when I was filming the B-roll for this video is how easy it was just to throw my camera or my drone in the front and not have to put everything away. If I were on my other cargo bike, I would have to kind of put things away into one of the panions. It was super convenient just to throw the drone down. I didn't even have to turn it off. I put my camera down, I didn't have to turn it off, threw it into the front of the Load, and then kept riding. And then when I was ready to film again, I could stop, jump out, everything was all ready to go, and I would just launch it into the air. That was super convenient. This is an awesome bike for city life. It's an awesome bike for commuting. It's an awesome bike for taking the kids around. It's an awesome bike for grocery shopping. It's probably the best bike you can get. I highly recommend getting one. Go out there and have some fun.